This is Rob Cutter. There's much talk nowadays about conscious creation and the way to use mind thoughts, intentions, your emotions to send out energy from your own essence and to create the circumstances of your physical environment around you. And today I wanted to share some of the things I've learned about practical ways in which you can consciously create. First of all, before I go into the practicalities of conscious creation, I wanted to just briefly explain some of the mechanics of it. We, in the last, especially the last 3 to 4 decades, principally actually in the last 15 years, have come to understand the nature of matter and energy more than we ever have in the past through quantum physics. And one of the things that we learned through quantum mechanics and quantum physics and the study of subatomic particles is that our intentions when physicists conduct an experiment, our intentions have actually manipulated the outcome of the experiment. What I mean by that is the thoughts of the experimenters have actually come to play in the outcomes of the experiment. And that is because their expectations and beliefs that they enter the experiment with, although they try to put those aside, they still radiate out and have actually affected things at the quantum level, which is pretty amazing because it reminds us that everything, including ourselves and all that is around us, is connected. So, and tapping into that connection is the essence of conscious creation. One of the things that needs to be done, the greatest tool of consciously creating the circumstances of your environment is actually to tap into your subconscious mind. To use your subconscious mind as a catalyst to create what is around you, because the majority of what is created around you in your environment is a reflection of your subconscious thoughts, subconscious desires, and your subconscious intentions, which your conscious mind is usually not even aware of. We have thoughts that pass us, experiences that pass through our conscious mind in our everyday lives, and these experiences, thoughts, intentions, and desires are stored deeply in the subconscious. The subconscious mind is like the bottom of an iceberg. It expands vastly under the oceans, and we are not aware of the depths of the icebergs from the top of the ocean, from the surface. All we see is the pinnacle of the icebergs. And so the conscious mind can be compared to that pinnacle. It's a very minuscule part of the essence of our minds. In saying this, we need to tap into the subconscious self. I also want to just briefly say that although tapping into the subconscious mind is a storage of all of our experiences in this life and also beyond this life, we can often, in tapping into the subconscious mind, because we also have the innate ability to create through imagination, you cannot always depend on your conscious mind to bring back memories that are totally 100% accurate of what happened in your life. That's not what I'm saying, because the conscious mind has the ability to connect thoughts and to create memories that, if you bring them to the surface, that may not be 100% actual. But nevertheless, the desires and intentions and thoughts are still there beneath the surface. So I just bring that up because there are many people who will tap into the subconscious mind through hypnosis and assume that the memories that they bring to the surface are 100% accurate. And that's not necessarily true. Although thoughts and memories and experiences and desires are stored in their completeness within the subconscious mind, the subconscious mind, and tapping into it consciously, you can often bring those desires, thoughts, and experiences, interact and mix them in a way that is not 100% accurate. So I just bring that up because I think it's necessary, especially with a lot of hypnosis and things that is going on in the world right now as far as tapping into the subconscious. But I'm going to show you some practical ways of using your subconscious mind. The best way to use your subconscious mind is to use it at a level that you are not consciously aware of, which is kind of tricky. But there are some practical ways of doing that. Meaning that you are creating subconsciously at the same time that your conscious mind is aware and doing other things. See, when your conscious mind does not interfere with the subconscious creation of things, creation happens much more efficiently and quickly and thoroughly. So you don't want your conscious mind to necessarily interact with that subconscious creation. You could be subconsciously creating things while you're consciously doing the dishes and not even aware that you are creating things subconsciously. So we need to tap into the subconscious. I'm going to give you a few examples of how to do that. Okay, one of the excellent ways to tap into your subconscious mind without your conscious mind being aware of it is something that we use called sigils. And sigils are a statement that you write in the present tense that is something you desire to have manifested in your life. Now it could be a physical manifestation or something non-tangible like a quality or a characteristic that you wish to incorporate into your own self. It can be anything outside of yourself or within yourself. You start off by writing a statement of something you desire, and this was something that I had desired at one time, so I created a sigil for it that I thought I would share. I had been studying about lucid dreams, and I had been trying to experience a lucid dream, and I was having no luck. And so I decided to use a sigil to tap into my subconscious mind to manifest this experience into my life. What I did was I first wrote a statement using all capital letters that expressed my manifestation in the present tense. I want to repeat that. It's in the present tense. I did not say I will have lucid dreams. I said I have them. If you put it in the future, you are always putting that desire out of your reach. So you want it in the present tense. You write it all in capital letters, and you're going to go through and you're going to create some type of artistic drawing using the letters and using each letter in the statement only once. Now, as you are doing this, the magic or the conscious creation of what you are doing is actually taking place while you create it. And then you're going to add energy to that later on through meditation, through concentration, through breathing techniques, raising energy. But you have to be aware and be concise and deliberate with every step you take, because these steps are being recorded within your subconscious mind as you do them, and your subconscious mind is holding on to them and isn't going to let them go. I'm going to create a sigil right here using these letters. I'm going to start with the I, and I'm going to place an I maybe down here. Now usually I would do this on a separate piece of paper. Actually, I'm going to digress a little bit and go get a separate piece. Okay, as you can tell, this is not a professional production. The reason you want a separate piece is because you do not want this to be consciously aware of the statement, so you don't want that statement to be on the same piece of paper as your sigil. I'm going to just start making some kind of an artistic design using the letters of the statement, and I'm going to start off with the first one. And I'm just going to put my I like this. Now, it looks like an H. That's okay, because it is an I, and my subconscious mind remembers that. It knows it's not an H. This is an I. I cross the I off. Now I'm going to go through and cross all the I's off. I'm not going to use that letter again. You never use a letter twice. You don't need to. And you cross off all the I's, and as you do so, you're aware that there's an I in that word. There's an I in this word. There's an I in sleeping. I'm going to cross that off. Now I'm going to use an H. Now I'm going to put my H maybe like this here. So now I go through and I cross off all of the H's. Okay, I'm going to use, the next one is an A. I'm going to incorporate an A in here. And every letter is capital again. Every letter is capital. The reason being is because You want all the letters to be the same, basically. Now, you have this sigil. Now, consciously, it is like a puzzle. It's almost like a word puzzle. And one of the things about your subconscious mind that you need to keep in mind is your subconscious mind loves problems. It loves puzzles. And it will be working on this while you're consciously not even aware of it. In fact, after you use your sigil during a meditation or during a concentration or raising energy session, your subconscious mind, as you go consciously about your own business, is still going to be working on this at a different level and trying to decode which sigil this was. I'm going to stop for just a second and have a little chat about something else. Alright, to make this truly work for you, another thing that's very important that you do is, in actuality, you should probably make, I would say, at least 4 to 5 different sigils at the same time, with different things that you want to have manifested in your life. And the reason why is because as you put these sigils away for about a week, and you don't look at them, you don't think about them, you just, well, you try not to, but you put them away at least where you can't see them, and you mix your sigils up. You are going to find out that if you make some of your sigils look similar with just slight differences, you're consciously not going to remember which one was which. Now, you might remember the different statements you had written, but you do not know which sigil consciously was the one that was corresponding with that statement. So consciously you have just blocked off your conscious mind. Now, your subconscious mind remembers every minute detail of every second of your day. So these sigils are still within their access. And even if they weren't, what they'll do, your subconscious mind will sit there and try to decode it until it figures out which one it is. So you can use a tool now. And one of the ways that you can use this is you pull it out a week later. And there are several ways, actually. I think the least effective way is to just maybe leave it out where you can see it. That works. But in order to make it really work, you need to add energy to it. As your subconscious mind thinks about it, and as you add energy to that, the energy will eventually condense in such a way that it's manifests in your life. So a good way to raise energy is to use concentration. Hopefully you have been on the side doing exercises that increase your concentration, maybe using candle meditations or such. But now you're going to use these skills with your sigil. You will sit and not consciously concentrate. You will try to clear your mind like you do during a concentration meditation. You try to clear your mind of all conscious thoughts and just look at the sigil. And while you're doing this, you can consciously think about raising your energy. That's okay. You might want to concentrate on your breathing, and that is what I do. I will exhale all my air, the air in my lungs. I will inhale and be aware of my breath. Deeply inhale. Now, as you're doing this, you're actually raising energy. Concentrate on raising your energy from your different chakras all the way up, and focusing your energy on the sigil, directing all your energy on that sigil, concentrating on it while concentrating also being aware of your breath. You can raise energy and do that. There are other ways that you can raise energy that I'm not going to go into right now, but I don't think I'll ever actually go into them there. But if you're curious, there are lots of ways you can use Kabbalic principles, Hermetic principles, principles of meditation, that Tantra, different things to raise that energy and focus it in there. The more energy that you focus on it, the quicker it's going to manifest. And so basically, you have just created a way to overcome the conscious mind and tap into the subconscious. I'm going to show you another example of some sigils I've done. Alright, here are some rather elaborate sigils that I have created, and I spent a lot of time, mental concentration, creating these at the time I had done this. And I did them on oil paintings because I wanted to take as much time, as much detail in creating these as I could. And I am not an artist. So these took me hours upon hours to do. I'd say at least each one took at least a collective amount of about 18 to 20 hours. And that amount of energy that I expended in creating these, the act of creating these paintings, is actually where the majority of your conscious creation is going to take place, is in the act. Now, I have to tell you that these sigils, I wrote the sigils first out on a piece of paper, and it has the statement that I want. In fact, my statement had an apostrophe, so I did add an apostrophe there. But I decided to go one step further, and that was also incorporate some images that my subconscious mind would recognize. Each of these that I had chosen were specific mental, psychic, spiritual type attributes that I desired to bring into my life. And they're something I want to have the rest of my life, so I made a permanent sigil. Now this one, I don't remember the specifics of what I was asking for here. It could be something to do, I don't know, it could be the astral projection one, I have forgotten. And that's a good thing. Or it could have been remote viewing, or it could have been astral, I don't know exactly, but it had something to do with that. And I also attached a glyph. Now, one of the markings of the glyphs is not very evident, but it's there. I attached a glyph from the Kabbalah, and I'm not going to go into that at this time, but I will tell you that if you read up on the Kabbalah, maybe something from Dion Fortune, I really recommend her, you will understand the importance of the glyphs, and these glyphs draw upon an attribute from the collective consciousness that strengthens your message here that you're telling yourself. So you're using the collective conscious state of the Kabbalah, or maybe you draw upon the Native American tradition. They have a lot of pictures that correspond with messages too. You are using a collective conscious state and your own individual subconscious state. And the images here reinforce it too. I tried to incorporate an image that reinforced my desire. Up here I used elemental images of, now I know that this is to do with air and the color and the different elemental images that also kind of correspond with this. So I'm drawing on different states of mind in order to pull this all together. I did that with each of these. And like I said, I sometimes I think I know what it was. I'm not 100% sure. But I have reached a point which is within reach of everybody, that you don't necessarily have to totally not know. You can use your mind to just concentrate on raising energy and block out the meaning, and that's something you can achieve through meditation and practice, exercising and concentrating. Okay. Another one last thing I want to tell you about sigils or pictures or things that you do like this. I put a border around each one. Now the borders may not be too evident, some of them are. I use colors in my borders with purpose. I didn't just do any color. These colors that I chose were elemental colors that corresponded either with, bringing something into the earth state or using willpower. Whatever I did consciously. Every detail on this painting, nothing was haphazard. But you need to put a border around it. And the reason you put a border is because a border of some type, this one was black so you can't really see it, but I know it's there because I did it. The border is to contain the energy that you put into this idea. Now, you're not really physically containing it within this picture. Don't get me wrong. I mean, you are doing this mentally. This is an image in your mind, and you are putting energy into that image. You need to put a border around it, because if you don't, what's happening is that energy is being directed towards the image in your mind, and then just being scattered and not contained. And in order to crystallize that energy, you need to put a border around it, so it has some kind of a circumference of some type in which it can be. Also, here's another sigil I did. And I hang them in my room. Now, you know, consciously I've gotten so used to them that I don't even sometimes see them, but they're always there, and my subconscious mind is continuously aware of them, even when I'm not doing a meditation on them. Well, I hope that this was useful to you in some way. Before I totally close, I wanted to just express a couple of final thoughts. One is I very much believe that one of the reasons we're in this physical world is to meditate and understand the essence of who we are inside, which is a cosmic consciousness state. But at the same time, I do not feel that it's spiritually immature of anyone to desire to learn how to create in the physical realm. I believe that that's the purpose of what we are here for. The physical realm is a part of us, just like the astral, just like the mental, just like the superconscious states. The physical realm is a part of us, and we're here to learn how to master that part of us, to learn how to create and control it, and to incorporate it consciously into the entirety of who we are beyond this life. So I believe that these kind of practical exercises are ways in which we can do that. So anyways, I'm going to sign off for now. I hope this was helpful, and maybe I'll create a video later that will show you some other techniques besides sigils in which you can tap into the subconscious. Bye-bye.